guys, this is Giuliani scrapping in my own private Idaho, and I am doing another day of Christy's Beautiful Life. This is day number 18. I am now one day behind, and in about 24 minutes I'll be 2 days behind. But anyway, this is sketch is by Karen Adams Kidwell, and it is a 5x7. I believe my picture's probably a 4x4, and I am using an 8.5 by 11. This is part of my alphabet album that I'm doing for my grandson. So let's go ahead and get started, and you can see from hers, she used mixed media. I attempted at it, didn't like it, decided to cover it up because I wasn't going to redo everything. So I'm thinking I was going to do this. I haven't added the date and the time here, but I'm going to go ahead and put lines here and journal on that later, because with the 8.5 by 11, it tends to look kind of bare. And so this is also going to be a 2-page layout. So I've completed the companion page, which basically is just a picture page, so that I can say, so this one will say G is for Grammy, and both of us go by Grammy, so I have a picture of both of my grandson's Grammys on this page. So this is just a grid page. I did add some of the elements that they included. Instead of the mixed media, I have added a doily, and I do need to go through and pull out these. I did buy this from eyelets. I will say I have several die cuts for the eyelets. They are not my favorite thing to cut out because you always have to wind up pulling these little things out. And this one was even purchased, I think I got it at the dollar store, and I thought, well, it's a craft color and that comes in pretty handy. So I went ahead and did that. I'm using a paper pack that is called Hope and Kindness. It is a retired, of course it's retired from close to my heart, and so I thought it looked very grandma-ish, and so it was beautiful. You can see I fussy cut all these flowers. It was a beautiful pack. It was one of the larger ones, and I still have quite a bit. It came with cardstock with it as well. So these are some of the fun papers that I have that I could work with. And it was one of the later packs, but it did have kind of a throwback, was when it's cut apart, because we had cut aparts in the past, and then we stopped having them, and this is actually 2022, and I guess they went out in 2023. So the cut apart was kind of a kickback to what they'd done before, but this has been a beautiful pack, and I do like the cardstock that came with it. And that is this and this. So let's go ahead and get started. I'll show you what I did. So there's not a lot of paper on this, so this is a sketch that would definitely be great for getting in your stash. And they actually even had stripes that one of the papers was stripes, and I cut apart a lot of those. So this is one of the cardstocks that was in the pack, and it's kind of a peach color. So I'm going to go ahead and place this. So she has 5 strips, and I'm going to have 5 strips, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Because it's a smaller one, I'm just kind of putting it together on my Cricut mat, which works great actually. I want to make sure that this is, when it's a 2-page, I do want to make sure that I line it up. And this is kind of flowery for a little boy, but I think that's okay. It's got a brown base, so the dominant, it's not pink or anything like that. So then I dovetailed this one. So this is one of the stripes that I cut apart, and I believe this one is 1 inch. So and I did the exact same treatment over here, only you can't see it because it's covered up by the pictures. And then this one here. because now on theirs they have the picture setting down on two of the stripes, but I have kind of some blank spots up the top because this is 8.5 by 11, and to make it look more balanced, I am going to set my strips, and this is a half an inch, so this is a quarter inch, 3/4, a half inch, no, probably 3/4 and 3/4. This, I'm sorry, half inch, 1 inch, 3/4, half inch. And we'll put this one in here, and you can see that they've stacked this one, so I'm going to put the green on here, like this. So a sketch like this would be so great to use up any scraps that you have. Now remember that Christy's Beautiful Life is a daily challenge, so every day if you go to the website on Facebook, you can just click on it. That's probably the easiest way, and you can see everything that is happening that day. Now that I'm behind, I am definitely watching and seeing what other people are doing, and there is one advantage to being behind is you get to see what everybody else has done, so you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put this up at the top like this. I'm going to center it. So my picture is 5 inches. 5 inches, and my picture is 5.5 inches. So I'm going to, I guess I'll just eyeball it. I'm not great at eyeballing. I'm going to just go ahead and set that here. I'm going to put the, I'm using, it doesn't mimic it exactly, but I am putting a little, what is this? The doily kind of gives you the same effect. I wish I had a larger doily, and to be quite honest, if I might look in my stash later and do it. I just didn't want to run another doily through. And okay, so my title is going to be G is for Grammy. And you're right, if you've been following along, I did skip, I skipped F. It will come up together, and now I've lost my G. Oh, here it is. I did trim this a little bit, so this is the Stampin' Up. They have a very large alphabet set called the Party Die, and that's what I've been using for all of my, I'm going to scoot this over a little bit because I want it to look so that you're kind of reading this across. I'm going to put this right here, and that will look good. I might pop this one up. I'm going to put is for, and this was just a tag. So this is 2 of Stampin' Up's alphabet sets. This one is the Party Die. It's a large set that I've actually used a lot. This is a Cricut font, and that's a Cricut file that I saw that was using Grammy, and I thought, well, I invent the wheel, because Grammy did not fit with the large letters. The one thing about these large letters are sometimes the letters are so large you can't put a whole word across. So instead of splitting Grammy, I decided I would just go ahead and cut it out with the Cricut, and found that cool font and did that. Okay, I'm going to pop up my G a little bit because I want my G to stand out. I want it to be the first thing that he sees. I don't want to put too many flowers to block my G because I want him to recognize it without interruption, so that way he could maybe know what his G is. He doesn't know his G's, but he does know that his name starts with an L. So that's good. Alright, so I'm going to put that here. And I haven't decided, I'm not for sure if I don't think I want this here. I just think it's too much. So we're going to have the flowers, which kind of gives that same, it gives us a little height without, it gives us some height without without doing the without having to have the mixed media or the eyelets. So, alright, and I'm not for sure. So I think once I get the date, and I do have a date stamp, and that's kind of, I see a lot of scrapbookers stamping their dates on there, and I do want to start doing that. So I need to dig that out. I saw it when I was cleaning the other day, and I'll just put a date stamp and the place, which was, this was Linden Farms, and which is in, I don't know if it's, it might be considered Cuna. I'm not a great geography person. Okay, so I don't want my flowers to sit on my G, because I want him to see what the G is shaped like. And if you're learning a shape, you want your letters to be, I try not to make it, and that's why I like this font really well. It is a capital, and it really looks like the G. So the ones that we're saying G is for, those will be pretty standard. So the idea is not to trick the poor little kid. All right. So that's that. I don't know if I could, that does look kind of cute there, or I could have it right there too, or maybe even right up here. I think I'm going to put it right here, because that brings it down, because I feel like it's kind of naked up there. So I will put that there temporarily, and I might change my mind. So that is Karen's beautiful layout, and I like the fact that it you could use scraps with that. I really am trying to make a big dent in my stash. Well, I hope you will like and subscribe, and we will check with you tomorrow. Thank you so much. Bye.